Hare Krishna. Hello my friends. How are you today? I hope you're well. Let's see what Krishna wants us to know today from Bhagavad Gita. As it is. 343. Conquering lust. Evam bude param bodhva samshtabhyatmanamatmana jahi shatrum mahabaho kamarupam durasadam. Knowing the self to be transcendental to the intelligence, one should control the lower self by the higher self, and thus by spiritual strength defeat this elusive enemy known as lust. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. 343. Thus knowing oneself to be transcendental to material senses, mind, and intelligence, one should control the lower self by the higher self, and thus, by spiritual strength, conquer this insatiable enemy known as lust. I remember in my very early days learning about Krishna consciousness, one of the things I learned was this hierarchy of the body, mind, intelligence, and the soul, and how when we can understand our position of the soul, then that controls our intelligence, and our intelligence controls our mind, and our mind can control our body. Here's the purport. This third chapter of the Bhagavad Gita is conclusively directive to Krishna consciousness by knowing oneself as the eternal servitor of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, without considering impersonal voidness as the ultimate end. In the material existence of life, one is certainly influenced by propensities for lust and desire for dominating the resources of material nature. Desire for overlording and sense gratification are the greatest enemies of the conditioned soul, but by the strength of Krishna consciousness, one can control the material senses, the mind, and the intelligence. One may not give up work and prescribed duties all of a sudden, but by gradually developing Krishna consciousness, one can be situated in a transcendental position without being influenced by the material senses and the mind, by steady intelligence directed toward one's pure identity. This is the sum total of this chapter. In the immature stage of material existence, philosophical speculations and artificial attempts to control the senses by the so-called practice of yogic postures can never help a man towards spiritual life. He must be trained in Krishna consciousness by higher intelligence. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay. I like that I gave us the final verse of the chapter. This is the conclusion of this chapter. One must engage the intelligence and the body and the mind in service. Let's do this too. Let's read about Krishna's transcendental qualities. This is number 25, forgiving. A person who can tolerate all kinds of offenses from the opposite party is known to be forgiving. Lord Krishna's forgiving quality is described in the Shishupal Vada in connection with his forbidding the killing of Shishupal. King Shishupal was the monarch of the Chedi kingdom, and although he happened to be a cousin of Krishna's, he was always envious of him. Whenever they would meet, Shishupal would try to insult Krishna and call him ill names as much as possible. In the arena of the Rajasuya sacrifice of Maharaj Yudhisthira, when Shishupal began to call Lord Krishna ill names, Krishna did not care and remained silent. Some of the people at the arena were prepared to kill Shishupal, but Krishna restricted them. He was so forgiving. It is said that when there is a thundering sound in the clouds, the mighty lion immediately replies with his thundering roar. But the lion doesn't care when all the foolish jackals begin to make their less important sounds. Sri Yamunajacharya praises Krishna's power of forgiveness with the following statement. My dear Lord Ramachandra, you are so merciful to have excused the crow's clawing on the nipples of Janaki simply because of his bowing down before you. Once Indra, the king of heaven, assumed the form of a crow and attacked Sita, Janaki, Lord Ramachandra's wife, by striking her on the breast. This was certainly an insult to the universal mother, Sita, and Lord Ramachandra was immediately prepared to kill the crow. But because later on the crow bowed before the Lord excused his offense. Sri Yamunacharya further says in his prayer that the forgiving power of Lord Krishna is even greater than that of Lord Ramachandra, because Shishupal was always in the habit of insulting Krishna, not only in one lifetime, but continually throughout 3 lives. Still, Krishna was so kind that he gave Shishupal the salvation of merging into existence, his existence. From this we can understand that the goal of the monist to merge into the effulgence of the Supreme is not a very difficult problem. Persons like Shishupal who are consistently inimical to Krishna can also get this liberation. Let me grab my water. Hang on a second. You don't have to hang on. I'm just right here. Throat is dry. Okay, now let's see. How about some tarot? Angels, spirit guides. Can we get a message for the collective, please? This is the 4 of Cups and the 5 of Pentacles. And the 4 of Pentacles. Let's start here. This 4 of Cups feels a little despondent. I'll get some clarification. It's the feeling is like I'm not thrilled with the way things have come out. Maybe there's a masculine energy that's not happy with some things around the house, around the community. This does have to do with stability. Five of Pentacles, this is somebody feeling left out or feeling a sense of lack. Maybe about the future. Some seeds you planted are not going to come to fruition, or you can just see the end of something. Anticipating an end of something and feeling like pretty left out in relation to that, or somebody's feeling left out of that. And lack. And so 4 of Pentacles is next. So many 4s. This is about stability also, hanging on to resources. Maybe a little too tight, maybe like insecure, striving for security. The Chariot, moving forward. Just feeling like, okay, these things happen, it's time to move forward. the feeling is a little like it's not something that's totally in your control, but you know what you have to do. And it's not like an easy thing to do or fun or desirable thing to do, I want to say, but things are expected of you. You have responsibilities. You're being depended upon. You're being watched. You're being seen as stable and abundant and successful. And so it's kind of like the show must go on type of feeling. And these feelings of lack and insecurity and left out in the cold, maybe what's going on internally, and then having to present externally like, yes, I know what I'm doing. Yes, I have my ducks in a row. Yes, I have my resources that I need to do all that. Yes, it's working out for me. It's kind of a heavy energy. It feels like duty and responsibility. Very much. You gotta take care of being there. Take care of being there. Okay, someone buys cheese. Collective based on this. There's the 4 cups again. Okay. 9 of Swords, Queen of Wands. See what's on the bottom here. 7 of Pentacles. There's 4 cups for advice. Remember this came out the other day, and normally when I see this, it's about counting your blessings versus looking at what didn't work out. Just being aware of all the good things you have. But also the other day when it came out, it was about when you're in that frame of mind of kind of like, oh, poor me, like feeling sorry for yourself a little bit, despondent. Sometimes that's a cue to take care of yourself. There's some need that's not being met there. So take care of yourself. Bring yourself back into balance. Identify what the need is. And take care of it for yourself. Meet your own needs. 9 of Swords here. This is fears, anxieties, nightmares, worry. Could be around family. What you fear, you bring near. Don't fight in front of the children. Don't fight in front of your children. So scary for children. But also just having a certain type of fear or anxiety can bring it closer. You're perseverating on that. You're adding to the energy of that, and it has to manifest as something. And this 5 of Wands here is saying, don't fight. You don't have to be right. You could be peaceful. Better to be happy than right. You know the phrase? And also, I'm being reminded of that example. I think, is it in Srimad Bhagavatam or just Srila Prabhupada said it? Sometimes in a marriage or in a family, there will be thunder, you know, big clouds rumbling, like it feels like a big storm is coming, something's gonna happen, but then it passes over. It passes over. And this too shall pass. Everything does. So in the height of things, try to be a de-escalator. Don't contribute to that tension. Queen of Wands here. Again, she's very powerful. This is what we have to be careful of, is that we're always creating So we have to do that consciously, you know. If you're in this fear energy, that's what you're creating. It's more of that. Know your power and use it wisely. Use it to create your stability, to create your peace, to move things to a calmer place. Use your time and your power for that. And Seven of Pentacles here, this is also about wise investments, being conscious of where you put your energy and your time. There may be a new beginning. Also, why it's important to know where to invest wisely. So you might be getting some new things coming in, you need to know where to plant those for your long-term outcomes, for your long-term stability. Okay. Should we wrap it up early? Got an appointment this morning. Maybe we should. I'll just do one of these. How about that? Life loves you. You are. I trust my inner ding, ding. You were born with an inner knowing, what Louise calls your inner ding. Listen to it and let it guide your actions. Of course, yes, we all have this connection to spirit. And spirit's always guiding us in the right direction. If you tune in, you can hear it. You can feel it. Okay, my friends. Thanks for dropping in. Thanks for listening. Come back real soon. Be well. Be happy. Be blessed. 자, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.